In this example, we are going to do number 20 from the book, section 1.4. So a company is producing jigsaw puzzles and with its fixed costs of $6,000 and variable costs of $2 per puzzle. The company sells the puzzles for $5 each. So we are asked in part A to find the cost, revenue, and profit functions. So we want the cost, the revenue, and the profit functions. And we are given fixed costs of $6,000 and variable costs of $2 per puzzle. So from that information, that gives us information about our cost function. The fixed cost is our y, or vertical intercept. And the $2 per puzzle gives us a clue. If we were to sell one more, we have $2 more. So that ends up being the slope. And I'm going to use 2x. I started with x as my variable. I think in the book they use q, but I started with x. I'll keep it with x. That is our cost function. Now, the other piece of information that they give us is that we sell it for $5 a puzzle. So the $5 goes into our revenue. And so our revenue function is a lot simpler. It is just 5x. We sell one puzzle, we have $5. We sell two puzzles, we have $10. Profit is going to be revenue minus cost. So let me remind ourselves, revenue minus cost. And so there's a common mistake here when we subtract that we forget the all-important parentheses, especially when the cost function and the revenue functions are a lot more complicated. We need to remember we are subtracting off all of the cost function, and so we have to remember the parentheses. So when we distribute, when we simplify, we get a final answer of P of x is 3x minus 6,000. In part B, they ask you to sketch the graphs of the cost and the revenue functions to try and find the break-even point. I will let you do that. You can use Graphing Calculator or Desmos or some other technology. But part of the problem asks you to actually find it on paper also. What is the break-even point? We could figure out by setting these equal to each other or this equal to 0, and the break-even point we would be looking for when 3x equals 6,000. You either get there by setting cost equal to revenue or this equal to 0. In other words, 2,000 jigsaw puzzles. This one is important to know because if you're trying to graph this with technology, you'll want to know what window to set so you can actually see both lines. Because our default window, we wouldn't be able to see all of the lines. I'm going to add to this and ask what is the marginal cost. The marginal cost is it measures what is the additional cost, usually additional cost, of producing one more jigsaw puzzle. And this one is $2 per puzzle. I could have equally asked you marginal revenue or marginal profit. Those would be similar. What is the amount of selling and or producing one more puzzle? And so for marginal revenue, we would have 5, and for marginal profit, we would have 3.